This here is the 2026 Knaus Yaseo 340PX and has a really interesting interior for such a small compact caravan here in Europe, or travel trailer as we say in the United States, that I think has some designs and ideas that certainly could be incorporated in the United States to make better use of such a small space like this. So curious what you think? Let's go take a look, come on. Welcome back to another video, y'all. If you're new here, my name is Myles with Firmly Unbound, and we are taking a look at this 2026 Knaus Yaseo 340PX here. Really excited to take a look at this thing with y'all. It is really impressive what they do with such a small footprint here inside of this caravan. Let's go around what's going on the outside here real quick. So this is an all-electric caravan or travel trailer. Pretty interesting. So no propane or gas on here. Everything in here, from your air conditioning to your heating, your water heater, they're all going to be electric. Your cooktop, it's an induction cooktop in here. Pretty nice. This thing is also only about 2,000 pounds, so really lightweight, gonna pair well with a lot of different vehicles, and it's 18 feet. So pretty dang small. There's teardrop trailers that can approach around like 18 feet. So not very big whatsoever. Fiberglass roof, that's pretty standard and common out here in Europe. And then we have a more automotive grade finish along the back end. You have a dual pane polyplastic style window here, similar to what we see on the teardrop trailers in the United States, and then grab handles on the front and the rear. So it is kind of designed where it looks like you can, move this with your hands if you wanted to. It does have that wheel up on the tongue jack. Give you a look back around here. And then on the sidewalls, they have this aluminum siding here. It's a more high-grade aluminum than what we're used to in the United States with like those entry-level aluminum sided travel trailers. This is more of like what Brinkley has done with their aluminum siding on their Model I series. But this just has a pebble design that looks pretty cool and interesting. Then as we step inside, really nice looking entry door. Love the way that looks. You have the LED light strip over the door. This is something that I would love to see more of in the United States, where you have a more robust entry door, more useful. You get a couple hooks here, a couple hooks up here as well that open up, and you get a shade on the window already installed. That's like pretty much standard, which is funny how it's, not in the United States. And then that's pretty much it on the door, but also just very solid sounding. If you've ever been in a new camp travel trailer or teardrop trailer, similar door style there. Also has a little spot where you could store what looks like probably a spot for an umbrella. Definitely makes sense here in Europe. As we step inside, you see the carpet on the floor. This is actually just a rug that it will come with that is custom cut to fit the interior space. And that gives you the option to have either the wood style linoleum like flooring, or you can have that carpet right there. So as we step inside, I am a big fan of this layout. This is a really neat concept in here. You got your booth seating. Now, I think in America, when we look at stuff like this, typically what you would expect is you take something like this table here. That table is going to allow you to drop it down and make this into some sort of bed with the back cushions here. But this is actually much different. There's a couple different things going on here. So I'm going to set up the camera, and we're gonna go ahead and show you the bed first. There's a little yellow button here that is going to drop this down, and your whole bed here drops down. Oh, whoops, forgot we gotta take out the back cushions. Back cushions gotta go on the floor or on the other side. There's room for the back cushions over here for this to drop down. So there's a little gap right there. Then you have about a 6 foot long bed right here. 6'4" about on the bed. Really, really nice size, kind of like a memory foam on the bed here. So really cool concept on how this bed drops down, gives you more of a, real grown-up size bed and an actual like specified bed here, instead of just having a dining table that's going to make into a bed with a bunch of cushions with gaps in them. So I really like this design. I think this is something that could be a good alternative for like a Murphy bed setup in these smaller size campers or caravans like this. Then we got some cubby storage back behind here where the bed position is. You got some cabinets up over the top and a cubby there. Then you have your individual reading lights, and we do have what looks like some AC vents coming up through here. Let me see if I can, yep, you can see your ducting coming down through here. Now this AC, it is electric. It also has a heat pump on it too, so you can get heat out of that AC system. So pretty neat there. Good lighting all through here as well. And then as I flip this bunk or bed back up, there was individual reading lights behind there as well. I don't know if you caught those, but flip that back up. Then we can put these back cushions back on here. And as we look around, got a spot for a TV on the wall, so it does have a place where a TV could go. Have another reading light there and here. It's really nice. Your LED lighting kind of built into, instead of just like sticking on an LED light strip, it actually has a cutout piece right here where that LED light goes into, so it sits flush in there, which is really nice. That's really good quality as well. And as we step back this way, it looks like we have some, you know, like ducting coming down underneath here from your heat and AC system. Same thing down underneath there. You also have an outlet right back behind here. And then we have some storage underneath our booth seating. So you can see the storage there, see your storage here, and it has all that bedding in there as well. So really practical, functional design with this space. Let me know what you think down below if you would like to see more RVs with this kind of bed style in the United States. I think it's awesome. I think it looks great, and I think it's really practical and functional for a small size camper like this. But curious your guys' thoughts if you would purchase a camper like this, or if you just, you know, like it or don't like it. Got some wardrobe storage right here, but that's not all. See another vent right here coming up from the AC unit. And as I step back, overhead storage here, and those will be soft close. So we turn this way, got another closet space. So whether you use it as wardrobe storage, which is kind of what it's designed for here, as you can see, or you could also use it for, you know, maybe different things from the kitchen as well. And then you got some drawers right here. Their drawer construction a little different here in Europe. So you can see how they're screwing this hardware into the door right here. And then this is all metal here. Doesn't use a whole lot of screws, but this is something I've been seeing in a lot of different caravans out here, is that style of drawer construction. Then that's your likely water heater right there. It looks like maybe that's your electric water heater. That's my assumption on what that is right there. And as we come back into the bathroom, this does have an option to get it with a shower setup, but this doesn't currently have a shower head in it anywhere. You can see where this carpet is at down underneath here. There is holes there for water to run out, so you can use this as a shower space if you wanted to, but it does not have a shower setup in this current build with the option. So it's an option that you can add into this space, but it's not going to be something that is currently in the build that we're looking at right here. Have your toilet there. It is a cassette style toilet, so your black tank is basically removable, and that is a plastic toilet seat. Got your storage right here, and then storage around these spaces in this bathroom. A little shallow storage right there. And then your sink is all molded into the same piece as the countertop material, and it's like a plastic countertop and sink. Got a couple cubbies here. Kind of neat design there for your storage for different items in the bathroom. And then a push to open little cubby there, and a vent in the bathroom. Got some hooks on the doors, and then that's pretty much everything. I know I've seen in some other videos too, so I'll just say this. Some people have commented on my other videos from a few that I've uploaded here where there were other bathrooms that did not have showers in them, and somebody thought that maybe like there was a door or a wall or a sink or something that swiveled out of the way to make room for a shower. That's not the case in a lot of these caravans out here. So this truly does not have anything here that converts this space into a shower, unless you order it with the equipment to give you like a shower head and a shower curtain and things of that nature. I know what people were talking about when they commented that some caravans out here will have those doors that swivel around, and we even see that in the United States as well with a few different motorhome builds, where you have like a pocket wall basically that closes off the rest of the bathroom to make that space into a designated shower space. But that's not the case here with this one. Got LED lights all up around here, looks really beautiful. Then your kitchen space up front here, kind of a you know, long design for the countertop space. So although it's not wide, you get a lot of depth here for your countertop. 2-burner induction cooktop. This cabinet right here has a latch on it, and then we have an outlet up in this space, some shelving right there too. And then down up underneath here, have a light switch and another outlet under there. Got some storage space here with your utensil divider, and then a couple drawers. And then next to that is your refrigerator. And then that's pretty much everything on the inside. Very curious your thoughts on what you think about the layout, little freezer portion there, of this little travel trailer here. I think, again, this thing is just so dang cool. Your windows, you got a pull down bug screen and a pull down blackout shade, both come down from the top. But I think this is just an awesome little design for a camper of this size. Also like that they have, you know, the curtains on the windows, kind of gives it a more finished off look. Everything here looks really well finished off. I mean, there's really no lack of attention to detail in every aspect of pretty much all the caravans in Europe, and definitely this one that we're taking a look at. So as we step outside, have your dual pane poly plastic windows. I think we talked about that. Another thing to talk about is they have these rail systems on all the caravans in Europe. So you basically have this rail that goes along the entire perimeter of the caravan. And we see this on the teardrop trailers in the United States. But this is something that pretty much all caravans here have, because none of them have awnings on the outside. So what they do is they either get attachments in here that snap into that rail system that make a awning outside, or you could even have like a whole tent exterior out here. So you could get different pieces of equipment that are third-party pieces of equipment that basically turn this whole space into another covered patio. And I'm trying to think of like things that are kind of comparable to that in the US. Like there's products in the US when we extend our awnings out that connect into the awning that bring, you know, sidewalls, and not like a hard sidewall, but like a fabric sidewall and things down off of the awning. It's kind of the same idea here. So pretty interesting overall. Very unique too, just being all electric and having no gas. And then here the price, it's right about 27, well that's what they're taxed, so maybe about 24,000 euros or so. But they have a 19% tax, it looks like, which gets it to about 27,000 euros here in Europe. And in dollars, it's right around $32,000, $33,000 US. So that's kind of what we're looking at here, which I don't think that's too bad actually for the quality and stuff that you see here. Curious what your thoughts are. If they could sell this, something like this in the $20,000 price range in the US, it would absolutely crush all of the like entry-level campers, I think. Although it's still really small. That's one of the biggest differences between Europe and the United States, is in Europe, this here is essentially like in US dollars what a $30,000 camper looks like. In the US, we have $30,000 campers that can be like 32, 35 feet even, but they're just much lower on the quality spectrum than what this is. So it's kind of nice in the United States, I would say, that we have the option for bigger options that are more affordable, but they do not match the quality of this. So it makes me curious in the United States if people would buy something like this, if it was available in an option, or if they would just, you know, more often than not still be buying the bigger stuff that is right around the same price point but lower in quality. So curious your thoughts on that. Let me know what you think. And then that's pretty much all I got for you. A couple other things on the outside. Let me see if I missed anything out here. So you have your black tank right here. This is your, you know, spot where the cassette toilet will open up right there and give you that black tank that comes out, so you can drain that wherever you want. And then, not wherever you want, gosh, I gotta stop saying that. You can drain it in a dumping station or in a toilet. And then you can see right there, your air conditioning system there with the heat pump in it as well, and the ducting that comes out of here. It's like a plastic or composite-like material, so a little bit different than the ducting that we see in the United States, where this here is more of a, I don't know if it's a better or worse ducting system. It's a little bit more rigid. You get a little bit more flexibility with it, you know. It's not so flimsy like our, you know, kind of, I don't know what the material that our ducting is used out of, but it's those ducts that look like aluminum foil, you know, kind of like a dryer vent type of thing. But that ducting system, a little bit different here in Europe. Really nice automotive grade finishing. I wanted to start to figure out the warranty stuff too, so let me see if I can find that. So I did find they have a 10-year body leak proofness warranty, is what it says here. So it does, like, it looks like it basically is coming with a 10-year like construction warranty on this Caravan, which that is definitely not what we're used to in the United States. That is very different. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything else. It is all aluminum framing on this travel trailer, and that's pretty much it. Fiberglass roof up along the top, and we'll let you see the roof. I don't have a ladder to get up there, but if we put the camera up, you'll get a chance to see what the roof looks like and what's up there. And that is all a fiberglass roof, which is pretty much the standard here in Europe. Just so you know, if you're curious and want to see what travel within the United States looks like with something like a caravan like this here, I own my own personal caravan, or in the United States we call it travel trailer. So speaking to you as if you're someone in Europe that might be watching this, I travel around the United States. My wife and I did our honeymoon even in a caravan like this, or a travel trailer. And all of the video content that we make when we travel, we've been places like Arizona, multiple state parks in that area, Utah, San Diego, Colorado, South Dakota, and more. That's all on another YouTube channel called Firmly Unbound. That's my channel, and it's linked down below in the pinned comment and description. So if you're feeling curious and want to see what some of that looks like, that link is down there below that you can check out. So that's all I got for y'all. Appreciate you watching and appreciate y'all being patient with me as I, figure out my footing here in Europe and try to become more knowledgeable on these products. I can't wait till I'm like 3 or 4 years down the road and I've been to this event multiple years. I know it'll be a much smoother process for you guys and for me. So that time is coming, but it's just where I'm at in life. I always am learning new things, always have new things that I need to learn, and that will never change. I'll never be a 100% certified expert in this stuff. So doing the best I can for y'all, and hopefully you appreciate that. And if you want to see more, I'll have dozens and dozens and dozens of RV tours coming from this event here. This is Caravan Salon in Dusseldorf, Germany. So appreciate y'all watching, and until next time, live firmly unbound.